In this movie, we'll talk about different ways to select shapes. That may sound a little bit basic, but it's very important to understand how to get the exact selection that you want in Flash. It's very frustrating when you're working in a program and you can't get the right selection. So if you're following along, I'm in 07_selecting.fla in the Chapter 3 folder in the Exercise Files folder. Notice on my screen that my stage is not centered. If you want your stage to fill the whole area that you have available for your stage, you can choose View, Magnification, Fit in Window, or you can choose Show Frame, or you can use the keyboard shortcut, which I'm going to use. That's Command 2 on the Mac, Control 2 on the PC. So to select shapes, make sure your selection tool is selected. The keyboard shortcut again is V. Then we can zoom in really close using the keyboard shortcut, Command on the Mac, Control on the PC, and plus. Press it once on the screen. You should be able to see the robot's face. And this is a good view for what we're doing, so I'm just going to leave it here. You can move the view by scrolling with the scroll bars at the bottom and side of the stage, or you can use the hand tool to move around. If I select the hand tool, I can pan around the stage. Notice that I'm not moving the artwork, but rather I'm moving the stage so I can get a different view. I'm going to go back to the selection tool. If you're using a different tool and you want to use the hand tool, you can hold space on your keyboard to toggle the hand tool. The keyboard shortcut to toggle the hand tool is the space bar. So if you have any tool selected and you hold the space bar, that tool icon will turn into a hand and you can click and drag to pan around. Going to release the space bar and the mouse button. Now let's select the shapes on the stage. The way we talked about in the last movie is to click and drag and draw a selection area. Now that's definitely one way to select shapes. Sometimes you just want to select one shape. So with the selection tool selected, I'm going to select the mouth of the robot. If you just want to select the fill of a shape, single click. You can tell that the shape is selected because you'll see white dots on that shape. You can also tell that the shape is selected in the Property Inspector. Notice the Property Inspector says Shape. That information even includes the width, height, and X and Y position of the shape, as you can see at the bottom left of the Property Inspector. You may not be able to see the white dots on my screen, but if you select the fill of your robot's mouth on your screen, you should be able to see the white dots. Once you have a shape selected, you can click it again and move the shape, or you can modify the shape's color. I'm going to press Command Z, Control Z on the PC to go back. So we want to keep the robot's fill in the robot's mouth. If you want to select the stroke and fill of a shape, you can double-click the fill of the shape. I'm going to deselect the robot's mouth by clicking in the white area on the stage that doesn't contain any artwork. Now if I double-click the fill inside the robot's mouth, you'll notice that both the fill and the stroke of the robot's mouth are selected. I can then click again to move the mouth, or I can modify its colors in the Property Inspector. I'm not going to do that right now, so I'm going to press Command Z on the PC, Control Z on the Mac to undo that. I'm going to deselect the mouth by clicking in the blank area on the stage. To select a line segment, you can single click any lines. If I want to select a line segment for the robot's head, I can single click any edge of the robot's head. I just single click the right edge and you can see that it has white dots on it. And if you can't, if you do it on your screen, you should be able to see it. With that line segment selected, I can then roll over it again. Notice the mouse cursor changes to be four-way arrows. I can click again and drag to move that line segment. Or I can change its color, pressing Command Z or Control Z on the PC to go back. If you want to select the entire stroke of a shape, you can double-click any line segment, and that will select all of the connected lines around the shape. I'm going to double-click the line segment on the right edge of the robot's head to select its stroke. So now I can move it and change its color just like I could with any other selection that I had. So there's a look at selecting shapes.